thinking?
Because you take many of the things as granted. That means the foundational things that you have, you take them as granted. You don't even question them. That is how it is done. When you come from outside the industry, you're able to question every single thing that people have taken it for granted. So if you think about, this is my 7th company, and I've never started, no two companies have ever been in the same industry.
Wow.
Right? When I started space, I had no idea how somebody is going to go to the moon. My first question when somebody asked me that was, I have no idea. It keeps moving. Every time I target, it moves. Then I understood there is orbital dynamics around it, right? That became really easy. So I was known as the space junkie because I started to learn about space. And then when I saw this technology at Los Alamos National Lab, that they're able to analyze the body, every single thing that's going inside.
3 columns. Top of the first column, you're going to write down experiences, right? And ask yourself, what experiences do I want to have? Who do I want to wake up with? What type of house do I want to live in? What countries do I want to visit? Where do I want to travel to? What adventures do I want to have? Whether it's climbing Mount Kinabalu or hiking the Andes. What type of family life do I want? What dog do I want? The beautiful thing about experiences is often they don't require that much money. It's crazy. We associate money with happiness, that often the most beautiful experiences in life require no money. Almost any human being today can fall in love, can make a baby. These are some of the most profound experiences I've had. So the first thing is you make a list of your experiences. Now, the second thing is you ask yourself this question. For me to be the man or woman who has all of these experiences, how do I have to grow? And here we come to the second list. See, I believe...
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful morning. I'm fired up. Today, we are getting into the brain of the super achievers. Right? We're going to be talking about 9 different keys to go ahead and break down on what it is that they utilize to really stay at a high frequency. That's why I love this call this morning, really getting deep into the individuals that are really achieving high levels of success, and why 97% of people wake up feeling tired, depressed, lazy. And a big part of that came down to the morning rituals, right? Being able to take time for ourselves, for the meditation, the gratitude, 11:11, paint your vision. Let's go. I love it. So before we go ahead and dive into today's topic, as always, let's drop a little bit of gratitude down below. What's everybody grateful for coming into this Tuesday? Grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful for God. I'm grateful and thankful to have peace of mind. We've been getting really intentional with this morning routine. Honestly, we've been killing it. I have my book. I took it inside. I think we're on day 185, something like that, still pushing forward. So I'm proud of you guys. I see you taking the time, developing the highest version of yourself. And let me be the first one to go ahead and get out to the world. 2023, I believe, is going to be the best year that we've all experienced by far. In 1 year, I'm telling you, this is the year we can do literally what we've done in the past decade of our lives, and I believe it's already done. So I'm grateful for the abundance and blessings flowing to and through each and every one of us. Alkaline water, cheers. Let's start the day, family. All right, here we go. You ready? 9 hacks for the brain. This is a big one, right? This is huge. Today's training is going to be very important because just like he was talking about, I know if we can implement this 30 days straight, right, or 28 days for the month of February, watch the quantum leaps that happen. Watch the abundance. Watch the magnetism that we all keep attracting into our lives. And it starts with the feeling. It starts with how we get the day flowing, right? Normally how the day starts, how it flows is most of the time how it's going to continue to go. So we're going to start it on fire. So let's go ahead and keep it flowing. Talene in the building. I see you. Let's go. Shane, they just took the move, dropped the job to be able to go out and help the family over there in the Carolinas. So send them blessings on that side. Let's get into it. You ready, fam? 10 hacks for the brain. Actually, I got 9. Maybe I'll give you the bonus number 10. All right. So here we go. First things first, let me go ahead and get it over there. Okay. All right. First thing you guys want to know when we're talking about the brain, okay? Couple different things. We're going to be talking about the diet, right? First off, what we put in our body, believe it or not, plays a huge role in how the brain operates. This is why all the time you guys are here in the morning, the first thing we want to fill our body with is going to be alkaline. It's going to be whole foods because the body can truly thrive in an alkaline environment. But in an acidic environment, right, which is what most people start their morning off with: meat, dairy, right, sugars, caffeine. All of these things are acidic. Guess what that leads to? Sicknesses, illnesses, diseases, cancers, right? Acidic environments. This is where bacteria truly spreads, grows, and thrives. This is all things that we don't want, right? So a lot of it, and a lot of this has to do directly with with how our brain operates and what it is that we're feeling, right? So I want you to think about this, okay? As we start the day with, how many of you guys have ever started the day with sugars, caffeine, and you wonder why you felt the crash in a couple hours, right? How many people start the day like this? Or I'll give you a perfect example: orange juice, right? Eating pancakes and waffles with syrup, okay? Start in the morning with coffee. All of these things, if you notice, just like kids, they get a sugar rush, or what happens? Then they crash, okay? So for me, I used to even be this person. Even waffles, right? Syrup, I used to have a lot of sugar. Or OJ, I used to have orange juice all the time in the morning. And then meat. I used to eat dead meat, and I wonder why I would feel dead in the morning, right? Dead throughout the whole day, lazy throughout the entire day, right? Conversations most people don't want to have, but I'll be the first one to go and have it. So I've noticed that diet plays a huge key in how we feel, right? If we eat lively foods, we're going to feel alive, right? So this is all keys to understand when it comes to growth, right? The diet is huge. I took out dairy out of my diet. I don't really eat meat as much anymore inside of my diet because I want to vibrate at a high frequency, right? That's the goal for all of us, to vibrate at a high frequency. This is where manifestations, this is where quantum leaps are born in the quantum field, right? So diet is number one, the first of the 9 hacks. Number two, the way that we got it this morning, it's called stepping on the ants, right? One of the biggest hacks for the brain. Number two, stepping on the ants. What does this mean? Stepping on negative thoughts, stepping on limiting beliefs, stepping on doubt, right? That little voice that comes in our head. Don't go to the gym today. Sleep in a little bit longer. You don't need to go ahead and make that video. You can go ahead and get a little bit more comfortable and sit back in bed, right? This is the negative self-talk. This is the limiting beliefs. This is the limiting identity, right? So this is crucial to understand because all of us have this. So the minute I started to really crush these limiting thoughts, I started to really go out and take action. Feel me? I wasn't used to speaking in front of people. I wasn't used to trading. I wasn't used to going out and putting out new products and spending money behind ads. All of these things were new, right? Traveling, getting on a plane by myself, speaking in front of different crowds. A lot of these, I had so much negative self-talk. All of these little ants had to learn to step on, right? Because I realized they're not serving. If anything, they're just like little pests that you realize at the end of the day, when you flick them off and you shake a little bit, you don't have all of these little negative bites all over you, right? There's little negative self-talk that keeps biting, that keeps nipping at your ear. It doesn't need to be there anymore. This is why taking time for ourselves in the morning is everything. Somebody that just wakes up, checks their phone, goes about their day, eats an acidic meal, and then goes straight into a negative work environment. What do you think their self-talk is going to be all day long? Negative, 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 past, negative, because they haven't taken any time for themselves. They haven't taken any time to really be still, crush the ants, and start to really envision the life that they want to live. Start to feel the experience as if they've already happened, right? So creating, this is so crucial in the morning. So leave my coffee out of this. I love it. So here we go. Number 3 is going to be exercise, right? I want to give you guys a perfect example, okay? And this is something that's honestly kind of profound. It might seem a little out there, but I promise you it's real, okay? It's true. How many of you guys have ever had, bad energy come inside of your house, right? Come inside, could be anything. Come inside of your house, come inside of your building, whatever it is, okay? I want you to understand this. Energy, right? Definitely, okay? I want you to think about this. Play with me for a second. Energy is everywhere. Right? It's never created, never destroyed. It's always there. So I'll never forget it. Sean literally had Sean G. Murphy, right? He had one of the mentees. She had a party, she had a going away party for her daughter going off to college. She had a lot of energy come in the house, and she was feeling, why does it feel like I have so much bad energy just still here? Right? You got drop some twos if you guys felt that. They've left the house, they've left the building, but you still feel some of that stale energy inside. This is literally what Sean had her do. Go get a broomstick. Okay, got some twos down below for me as well. He said, go get a broomstick, and I want you to even go to all the corners of the house, right, all around the house. And I want you to go ahead and just poke the broomstick, and I want you to move that energy around and open the doors and let it flow out of the house. Open the windows, let it flow out of the windows, right? It takes moving that energy around, because if that energy sticks, it stays stale. It's sitting there, and it's creating nothing but negative space. Okay, this is how a lot of us experience multiple different parts of our life. There's a lot of stale energy that needs to move, right? So now I'm going to transition into my third piece, right? The third key, exercise. He talked about it this morning, and I love that, because this is part of my topic I was going over today. You see, without exercise, without moving, without poking the broomstick at different parts of our body, there's stale energy. There's a lot of emotion that's sitting, that's bottled up, right? Have you ever heard people just have a blow up moment, right? Just all of a sudden they explode, because they've had all of these little moments of energy build up, and it took one thing to finally snap it, and boom, you lost it. You went crazy, right? Drop a 1 down below if you guys have been there. I've without a doubt 1,000% been there. But all it was there was still energy that was just built up. That's all it was. This is why I love the way he talked about yoga this morning. You see, being able to move in ways that we're not used to moving, to get sore in ways that we haven't felt sore before. This is the whole point. We're moving the energy around, and we're getting the stale energy out of our body. But somebody that wakes up, they don't move, they eat an acidic diet, right? They're jumping straight into negativity. There's no wonder why they're not creating. There's no wonder why they're living a negative life every single day. No wonder why. So now being able to see it from a whole different lens, it really makes sense, right? So I love that. This was a big aha moment, even for me this morning, being able to hear this. So let's get on to number 4, okay? Number 4 is going to be brain nutrients, right? What are some nutrients that we can go ahead and eat? What are some nutrients that we can go ahead and consume that are great for the brain? Who has some ideas below? What are some things that we can go ahead and intake that are great for our brain? I'll give you some, okay? Here's some of mine. Blueberries, coconut oil, turmeric, nuts, MCT oil, fish oil, right? Getting in omegas. All of these things are phenomenal for the brain, okay? The body is also 70% water. So most people think, well, D, I'm tired all the time. I got to get an energy drink. This is something that's really interesting, okay? I used to be the person to drink energy drinks, but you know what I realized? If the body is 70% water and we're feeding it something that has sugar, something that has caffeine, there's a wonder why we go ahead and get a spike of energy and then we lose it because we get back dehydrated again. The body's looking for one thing, and that's this. It's looking for alkaline water. That's the only thing that it's really starving for. So guess what? When I'm tired and I need energy, you'll never, ever see me go grab a 5-hour energy. In fact, those of you that drink that, Red Bulls, I'm not here to bust your bubble. I'm here to let you know they're cancerous, right? There's certain chemicals that are inside there. So there's a reason why I don't touch 99% of energy drinks. And people wonder, like, D, you go to sleep at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You're up at 6 o'clock, 7 every day. How do you do it? I'm hydrated, right? I'm giving myself healthy foods. I'm staying lively with what I eat and how I move my body, right? All of these things are so important. All right, let's keep it going. Where are we at? What number? Number 5, okay? Five keys for a super brain, okay? It's going to be happy friends, right? Getting around individuals that celebrate you and not just tolerate you. For a lot of my life, outside of sports, because I've always been a big dreamer, I've always been a visionary, I've always been a big thinker, and for a lot of the time, it was needed to have certain individuals around that could really be able to push you, that could be that accountability. For myself as an athlete, I know the difference between, I love to work out by myself, but if we're being honest, I get 10 times farther. I can lift a lot more weight when I have an accountability partner. So imagine how much more weight we can lift in our lives and in our business by getting around the right influence, by getting around individuals that really can put our strengths together. And I'll give you a perfect example. Do you guys know what mastermind? Do you know where that word really comes from? This is where, okay? When you put 2 or more minds together, you create a mastermind. This is why that word is so important. This is why community is so important. This is why the dream team, this is why this brand was built, because I understand their strength in numbers, right? To bring everybody's strengths to the table and to be able to put these all together, it creates one word, one powerful word, synergy, right? To be able to bounce off of the energy of others, that's huge. When you wake up in the morning and you see all of these good mornings, you see all of this gratitude, see all the blessings, you see others winning. I don't know if you guys know it, but what we see in our peripherals affects us more than we'll ever know, right? This was me in college. I'll give you a perfect example. When I was in college, everybody I was hanging around, nobody really had goals. Nobody had visions. People were going out 7 days a week, right? They were locking themselves in their room with their girlfriends for 7 hours. They became very lazy. And me just seeing that, I started getting lazy. I stopped hitting the gym as much. I stopped showing up early, right? Because I started to become a person of my environment. But as I started to grow, I realized we don't have to be a victim of our environment. We can make our environment a product of who we are, right? But I started to understand the power of getting around like-minded friends. You see, my old roommates, they were playing video games, they were smoking and joking and watching Netflix. When I switched that, and I ended up living out of my car for 6 months, and then I found my next power circle. Family, when I came back home, I saw my roommates taking notes. I saw them reading books, right? I saw them on calls listening to mentorship. And guess what I started to do? I started to go plug in. I started to feel weird if I wasn't working, if I wasn't growing every day. So it's so important to get around the right influence, to stay inspired every day. Feel me? Every day I wake up, I'm inspired because of who it is that we're surrounded by, the mentorship, the value, the dream team, all of you. You all inspire me. This is why I love doing these calls every day. I don't ever have to do this. I get to do this because of the community that we have. It feels good, right? It feels good to be on a winning team. Most people, I'm not going to say most, but for a lot of people, they've never experienced a winning team. And there's nothing like it. So I love it. I've won 4 back-to-back state championships. I played in a World Series as Team USA in Dominican Republic when I was 12 years old. So I know what it feels like to have a strong team. That's why when my sports career was pretty much done, I wanted to create the same thing. And that's exactly what we have here. So I'm happy and grateful for it. Beyond belief, more than you guys know. Number 6, okay? Number 6 is going to be known as a clean environment, okay? A clean environment is everything. Drop some 7s down below if you guys have been through life and you felt like things have just stacked up on top of each other, right? The room gets messy, things get disorganized, there's clothes everywhere, and you feel like your outside world is a representation of our mind, right? The outside world is just as cluttered as we feel on the inside. Well, guess what? A lot of times that's true. Our environment that we have that's close to us most of the time is a reflection of our mind. If we're clear-minded, right? If you get around somebody that's professional, somebody that really has all things in order, their environment most of the time is clean. Because like I told you, a cluttered mind is often a cluttered environment. And to be honest, this was one of my biggest struggles for a long time, right? Things would just add up, because my brain is everywhere. It's kind of like my laptop. I have 79 different tabs open because I'm always working on something else, jump over something else, and it just seems like they all come on top of each other. I think in a mess, and in a mental mess, you see it. It's the only time I'm not neat and tidy, right? So it's true. When the mind is clear, the environment gets clear as well, right? So that might be a perfect thing for anybody maybe to do today. If you feel like you've been cluttered, if you feel like you've been a little bit stagnant, perfect thing to go ahead and do, right? I do this multiple times throughout the week. So my work area is clean. I feel good. I can go ahead and step into the day and I know exactly where things are. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is huge, okay? So this is a big one that I had to learn, if we're being real. Number 6 was a star for me. Number 7, sleep, okay? Number 7 is going to be sleep. I'm going to be real. This is one that I struggle with a lot, okay? If there's two big ones on here, this is probably another one for me. Sleep is something that I can't tell you how important it is, but here's the deal, right? You don't need as many hours as you think. You don't need as many hours as you think, but the goal is to be able to get into real, deep REM sleep, right? REM sleep, rapid eye movement, right? This is when we're able to really start getting into the dream world. How do we do this? We do this by a couple of different things, okay? Number 1 is having a night routine. having night rituals. I can't express to you how much even I've been able to experience how important not just the morning side is when we first wake up, but honestly, right before we go to sleep. So many of us, before we go to sleep, we're filled up with negativity. We're filled up with all of this garbage. We're scrolling through social media, and most of the time, it's nothing that's providing any value, right? Especially if our Explore feed is off from clicking a whole bunch of random things, right? So this is big. I had to start realizing a couple different things I must do before I go to sleep. You ready? Same thing. I like to fill up with alkaline water before I go to sleep. I like to eat some fruit. I like to eat something clean before I go to bed. Okay, it's just like a little snack, right? Something small. Couple pieces of fruit, maybe a little bit of greens, right? Maybe a little salad before I go to bed. Okay. Next thing, I like to listen to something that is going to stimulate my mind in the right way. So a couple different things, right? You can listen to different meditations. You guys can listen to frequency sounds. You can listen to one of my favorites is called astral projection. If you don't know what astral projection is, this is getting you to be able to work your visualization muscle. For a lot of us, this muscle is pretty weak. This is when I really wanted to develop strong so I could see without being able to see a lot clearer. So when I journaled and when I manifest and when I wrote down my gratitude, I could really see it in high definition. And this is where it starts, right? Astral projection is going to allow you to start building that muscle, right? So you can start seeing your dreams. So this was just a couple suggestions if I could give to you guys that helped me really start getting into deep REM sleep, even if I'm only getting a handful of hours. I maybe get 5 hours a night. Nothing crazy, not a lot. But this is how I've been able to go ahead and dive in. Okay. Next, number 8. I got 2 more for you. 2 more. The 8th hack to go ahead and learning, right? Getting deep into the super achiever's brain is learning. Okay. Every day, I always make sure, whether it's from a book, whether it's from an audio, whether it's from a Zoom, whether it's from an in-person interaction, I'm always looking for a nugget. I'm always looking for a note, something I can go ahead and take out, then I can apply, go out, get results, and then be able to teach it. This is the game of life, family. Learning. If you look at a tree, right? A tree, it's either one thing, it's either growing or it's dying. Well, the same thing goes with us. If we're not growing, we're dying, right? This is even they've done studies where people at 60, 70 years old, even being able to get back into reading, getting back into firing new neurons, family, we can still open pathways no matter what age that we are, right? People with Alzheimer's, believe it or not, a lot of these symptoms that people don't realize comes from deficiencies, right? Gary Brecka was talking about it on stage. This is so important to understand. Learning, reading, right? Listening to new information. This is one of the most powerful things anybody can do at any age to keep stimulating the brain. Because when you learn something, you see the brain can double in connections, in literally neuraptic connections from 13,000 to 26,000 just by learning new information. And every time that we continue to learn it with repetition, you start to create grooves inside of our brain, right? So it's really fascinating stuff when you really start diving in and seeing how the brain really works and how we can actually use it to our advantage, right? Memory. How many people say they struggle with remembering names? You don't struggle with remembering names. We just struggle building that muscle to learn how to actually do it correctly. Okay. So this is stuff I definitely want to go over during the week, but let me go ahead and wrap up the last one. You ready? The 9th one, the 9th key for a super brain is going to be stress management. Everybody go ahead and take a deep breath with me. Ready? Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, put them back, relax, okay? Stress management. We're all going to have a lot that happens today. That's the truth. You're going to have life that hits you today. Let me just be real, raw, and honest, okay? There's going to be things that hit your trigger points just like they did yesterday, and how we respond is going to be everything, right? Because we have 2 choices. We can either react or we can respond. So this is huge, emotional intelligence. And here's my book for you guys, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. One of my biggest books to really dive in and start learning how to master emotions. Emotions is everything. Just like we talk about all the time, success is what? It's 90 to 99% spiritual. Well, guess what? Emotions, this is part of that. This is part of learning how to channel things that we can't touch, right? We can't touch our emotions, right? It's on the inside. It's mental. So this is a huge key that honestly all super achievers, they've learned how to master their emotions. So powerful training for you guys today. couple different takeaways, right, for the 9 keys of the super brain. Number 1 is going to be getting the right diet. Number 2, killing the negative thoughts, right? Stepping on the ants. 3 is exercise. 4, getting in some brain nutrients, whether that be alkaline or some whole foods. Number 5, that right influence, right? That circle, getting around that community to stay fired up, to stay inspired every day, to stay plugged in and charged up. Number 6, a clean environment, right? Staying organized, keeping things tidy. Number 7 is getting sleep, right? Getting a solid night, morning rituals. Number 8, learning new things. Number 9 is going to be emotional intelligence, dealing with stress management, right? If it's not going to matter in 5 months, family, we don't need to spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. Okay, so that's my training for everybody today. Let that soak in. Let that just go ahead and absorb. And let's go out and let's make February the month to really leave it all out on the field, to really be intentional with our morning rituals, with our night rituals, with what we're putting in our body, with the exercise, with the movement that we're taking on a daily basis. Now, I believe this is going to be a big shift of a month. January was a month to get situated, to really go ahead and get ready. This month coming up, February, is all about massive action, implementing what we learn, family. A lot of us, we don't need any more knowledge. We have the knowledge. Now it's about putting it out into the field. So I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go ahead and see the continued abundance flowing and coming to each and every single one of our lives. So with that being said, family, that is my training for you guys today. That wraps it up. I'm excited. I'm ready for everything that is coming to us. So let's go ahead and drop some 7s down below. If you guys got any value from today, smash that like button. If you guys are excited, you're ready for a phenomenal month of February coming in, wrapping up this month strong, the last day of January. So family, I love you. It is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, or have anything that you can hold in your mind. I promise you can hold it right here in your hand. Go out and have a great day. Let me see if I got something for you guys. Hold on. Let me see. I got a little bit of jams coming. Let's get to it. All right, family. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's go out and make it happen. Next time. Get to work.